Mhm. All right, so I'm excited to be here with you both today on this glorious, super sweet Sunday. I know we've had a very long day, and today we wanted to take the time to discuss some matters of the heart as mother and daughters.
Yeah, my two girls.
Yeah, so I know one of the conversations that we had recently, Mom, was that we speak about a lot of really great topics that I think would be very helpful for other people to join in on the conversation, to hear some of the, um, heart to hearts that we have about life in general,
Right.
from being women in ministry and walking in that calling, that purpose in terms of what, we believe we're placed on this earth to do. And then the struggles that we go through just being human and being here on earth, and wanting to be his vessel. So we're going to just kind of talk a little bit, and we want to take the time out to share a little bit on two questions. We're going to just flow as we normally do as mom and daughters. But the first question that we're going to go ahead and discuss and answer is, how do you identify and know that you are walking within your purpose? How do you identify and know that you are walking within your purpose? Mom, want to take the lead?
Well, that's quite a very, very open ended question because the first thing we need to know is what is purpose? Um, for me, purpose is really that unique part of yourself that is different from everybody else. What is it that you bring to the table as a unique person on this planet Earth? And that thing that you will bring that will be different is really, really what's going to make a difference and impact your life and impact the people around you.
Can I just stop you here for a moment?
Right.
I just realized that we need to also be recording in the other system as well, so we can have a clear sound for our podcast listeners. So I'm going to just go ahead and press record here, and then you can go back to your thought. All right,
So you
go
want
on
to do a
ahead.
continuation?
Yes. So the question that we are asking and discussing right now is, how do you identify and know that you're walking within your purpose?
Um, I believe that purpose really gives you that sense of identity, that sense of peace. When you're walking in your purpose, there is a certain amount of contentment that comes with it. Um, it's so happen. It's so funny because last night before I went to bed, I was just kind of scrolling on Facebook and I heard um, TD Jakes. He was talking about how we can walk within our purpose, but it does not free us of problems. It doesn't free us of issues that we will face in life. But the difference is that when you're walking within your purpose, it gives you that stamina. It gives you that inner unction to kind of keep moving because you're excited about it.
Yes,
You
yes,
find your
yes.
place and you will make a difference because you are being unique in what you present and you're impacting people in your space.
Awesome, incredible. Yes, just to answer that question, even as a young adult, going through life, as the older end, I would say, of the millennial generation, because she's definitely a part of the millennial as well, but she's my baby sister, not so much a baby anymore. But just realizing for my generation how we're still caught between the baby boomers who, they have a job, they have their identity and kind of knowing what they want to do with their life with a career, and they stick to it. And they will, pretty much do that for the duration of their time here until they retire. But then I'm coming from the generation where people want to pursue their passion and they want it to tie into their purpose. And the moment that they find that this is no longer fulfilling them nor full serving the purpose for which they believe they're called in the season that they're in, then they are willing to walk away from it. They are willing to go ahead and go in search of what they believe they're called to do and what they know they need to fulfill for them to live out their calling and their purpose, and in essence walk in the full essence of who they know they are, their identity. Sometimes they don't even really know who they are because they're searching. And that's what this conversation is about, to help get our younger and up and coming generation to start thinking about, how do I go from kind of fumbling through and trying to figure things out and get to a place of truly knowing who I am and what I am on this earth to do. Right. And so for me, being in that generation, I've always, in a way, even you, mom, have said that I've been kind of wise beyond my years in terms of how I've always viewed what I want to do and pursue in life. And so just being, as we said earlier, a young lady involved in ministry for as long as we can remember, knowing that ministering to people and ministry is everything, because human beings and people go through everything. And so there's so many facets that you are able to operate in when it comes to being a person that is called to ministry.
And I have to piggyback on what you were saying about sometimes we don't even know what our purpose is. So now we have to try and just be aware, like, of what we do and try and figure out what is it that we like to do, and just be like, okay, for example, I'm doing something and I realize that I enjoy it. It's like, okay, I'm enjoying this. Maybe this is something that I want to do. So just being aware of like what you're doing and just realizing like your reaction to certain things, and just being able to just be keen on like things that you like, just being aware of yourself, just being self-aware. I think that is how you can also know when you're in your purpose or walking in your purpose. And
There are two words actually that you mentioned, Rachel, that really um, kind of define the whole essence of purpose. Something that you like and something that makes you, and you being aware, being sensitive to what is it that really makes you feel like, oh, this is me. I love it.
yeah.
I feel like, yes,
So okay, let me try and go that route now.
right,
Yeah.
right. Because actually, that is really for a person who's really struggling, trying to find out, oh my, what is it that I'm here to do? What difference can I make that will make a difference?
Mhm.
It's really, really all that you said, really a part of, well, the most essential part of what you said, which is really being comfortable and being able to be sensitive to what makes you comfortable.
Mhm.
And at the same time, within that circle of being comfortable, you are passionate about it, as Stacey had said, passionate. So we're talking about passion, we're talking about feeling contented. At the same time, you are driven to want to excel within that thing that keeps on giving you that sense of satisfaction and happiness.
Yeah.
But I
Go.
okay. Well, I love what you both are bringing forward for us to think about. And as you're both talking, what comes to mind is it is going to be a process
Mhm.
Yes.
in really finding, because as I mentioned a little bit earlier, is that for the generation that I'm a part of, it's it seems like depending on the season that you're in and
Mhm.
depending on what is going on in your life and what it is that you've come to embrace, the people you've surrounded yourself with, the books that you're reading, the things that you're exposing yourself to, the places that you're going. Exposure, we know, is everything. And so when you realize it's so important, as you're saying, being sensitive, being aware, all of that comes forth when you take the time to make connections, to go beyond the comfort zone of maybe your device, your laptop. And we are in a society where everyone is turning to trying to find their definition of success or their definition of identity by what they see on the screen, maybe not even so much so a movie or TV, because we have the screen of our phones and social media. And unfortunately, we sometimes get in the trap of comparing ourselves because everyone's showing their highlight reel, on Facebook and all the other social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, wherever you're spending your time, Snapchat. There's so many of them out there that people are starting to use as a mirror for who they should be.
And one thing I would say too, like when trying to find your purpose, don't be so focused on, oh my God, what is it that I want to do with my life? Because I've had experiences like in the past where I would just get frustrated sometimes, like what is it that I want to do? I don't know, just get so frustrated. And I felt like I was in that limbo for such a long time because I was so focused on me not knowing my purpose, to the point where now I'm not even just trying to let it come and let it flow, just keep living life, reading books like you're saying and stuff. So I realized like I started reading books, just learning about different things. And once I did that, everything started to come. So let's not focus too much on what's my purpose, but just actually living life, and then the purpose will come to you, or you just will identify, those things.
Mom, what do you have to say on that?
Well, actually, here is my youngest daughter. Okay, she's my first daughter and my second daughter, and it seemed to me like the millennials tend to zoom in on raveling out the issues and zooming in on their purposes. Because my generation really, we tend to kind of allow ourselves to mirror what's around us and what our parents told us. We're kind of more rigid, but then it's just as you said, Rachel. You just can't really allow yourself to be a mirror. Millennials are more purposeful. They're go-getters. We are more cautious, but then once we have arrived there, we actually
stick with it, right?
Stick with it.
Yeah. And in the long run, there's the pros and the cons.
Yes. It is still a process, but the good thing about it is that we will have less hiccups because we are more cautious. We might go through a more painful process and stay within that process longer because we want to make sure that we're going in the right direction. Millennials, I don't want to speak for you guys, but it seemed like you kind of like just, okay, this is what I want. This is what I want. I like this. I don't like that. Okay, I'm comfortable with this.
Yeah, this is not working for me anymore. So I'm just gonna go ahead and move forward and lay this to the side, because we don't have time to waste. We don't want our life, in essence, to be a waste. We want to leave a great mark in the industry, in the the unit, whether it's your family unit or if you are a part of a ministry, whatever it is that you have a passion for and you want to see something great fulfilled, and it's definitely through you as an individual, then you're willing to go ahead and lay it down and plow forward, and not necessarily endure the pain in a certain place when you realize, hey, maybe this is a sign that I need to go ahead and pivot in another direction. But I want to kind of explore that deeper, that question on pain, because that is such an important part of the process. The important part of becoming that radiant pearl, becoming that exquisite gem, that gold. We talk about the refinement of these different gems that are of great value. And we want to be of great value and of a great asset to the world that we are in, and the families that we're a part of, the businesses that we're developing, and everything that we play a role in. So let's kind of head on to that second question. That is, how have you come to embrace the pain and the struggles that you have been through?
Hmm. Well, I would have to say, me living now for 24 years, I've realized, and I think we all have realized, that the obstacles are going to come. Like, it's going to happen. So, since we know that, how do we react to it now? Like, how, let's see, like, how do we react to it?
How do so basically you're saying that after 24 years, well, frankly, really, your first probably 5 years, I don't know if you were really
Yeah.
conscious of anything, but
So, pretty much what I was trying to
mhm,
say is, we know obstacles are going to come. There's going to
right.
be some, blockers in life and things like that. But do we, when those bad moments happen, or when, situation arises, do we soak in that moment and just be like, man, this is my situation, and just kind of succumb to it? Or do we say, okay, um,
I
right
learned
now,
from this
yeah, right
experience.
now I'm in this situation. I don't like how I'm feeling right now. What can I know that this might help me become a more empathetic person,
Hmm.
and be able to relate to other people who probably have, similar situation or
Right,
something like
right.
that. And then also just being able to, it's helping you just grow, cultivating you, and you just learn from those experiences. So I think that is how you embrace it, knowing that it doesn't last always.
Okay.
Problems are always going to come, but it doesn't last forever. So we know this is life. It's a life cycle, and we just keep going, and we don't like just get stuck in it.
Love that.
Yeah.
Yes, and your perspective is very similar to how I viewed pain. Pain in life in general is not something you can get away from because it's just a part of life, right? So the moment you start to embrace that, one of the notes that I made just thinking on this question is, turn your pain into purpose.
Mm.
Passion and progress will come if you have that perspective, because you know that it is a process
Right.
that you
Yeah.
have to go through to become all that you are to become, and also in order to live to your full potential. If you stay in a place that is comfortable, then you will never be stretched. You will never
Right.
get to that level that you could get to if you were able to fight your way through and realize, hey, maybe I'm going through this, like you said, to be empathetic because God wants to take me higher. There's more that, I higher that I need to go. And we know the higher you go, the farther you fall. And so we always hear this over and over again in ministry and in being involved in helping people, working with people, that, you're the only way that you will be able to be sustained when you get to a higher height and a higher place is having a level of character and
Mm.
substance.
Builds
So,
character.
yes.
Yeah.
And so you won't necessarily be able to stay on top if you haven't gone through what you need to go through, because you are more than anything, you are going to be despised, rejected, you're going to be envied. There's going to be so much that you have to deal with when you are on top because of just how it is in life. People are jealous. There are a lot of things. The enemy is going to try to attack you from all corners because you have so much more to give and to offer and to
Absolutely.
lose.
Absolutely.
So
Um,
the only way that you are, sorry, mom, but the
oh, that's
only
okay.
the only way that you are going to be able to really be sustained is to go through that pain and to have that perspective and to have been able to push forward into that place.
Right, right. Just listening, Rachel said she has been around for 24 years. I've been around for 55 years.
Hmm.
And what I've noticed is what I've learned is that experience is the best teacher.
Hmm.
I've learned so much, and it has propelled me through my experiences. Life has propelled me to become better.
Hmm.
Life has put me in a place where I'm truly recognizing my purpose and I'm becoming more comfortable. So, bottom line, it's an ongoing process.
Yeah.
Finding your purpose is an ongoing process because of the cycles you go through, the
Yeah.
seasons you go through, the seed that is planted. Um, and so, as you say, it's a matter of just really growing, but at the same time, not becoming stagnant, not allowing yourself to be pushed down by the forces that comes against you. It's a matter of just really forming that identity, having that passion and that drive and that interest, whatever level that you find yourself evolving into, whatever it is that gives you that peace and that happiness
Yes.
and that comfort, that in spite of what is going on around you, you are just at peace because
Contentment.
right, because you feel, you know, within yourself that you're doing, and I want to say doing you, but not in a selfish way. You're doing something that really is you.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so you find that you become um and surprisingly you impact people who are searching for something because everyone has something unique that will contribute or minister to somebody.
That's right. Yes.
And so once you can find what is it in you that is different that will draw people towards you and let them want to listen to you, let them, if you're a good singer, whatever kind of genre that you really sing or utilize mostly when you're singing, then there is a crowd for that.
Yeah.
Whatever
Yeah.
spirit that comes within the ministry that is placed within you, then that is what is going to be used to draw
Yes.
men onto you, so to speak.
Oh yes.
You
Oh
know,
yes.
I just believe that passion is something that even after 55 years on this planet, going on to 56, I am still evolving and finding that comfort zone at different levels and really, really still pushing towards the purpose
Yes.
because the purpose is really a wide
It is.
paradigm, really.
It is. I love that, Mummy. I think it's so important. Now we're gonna turn to you as the viewer and the listener because all this conversation that we're having, it's coming from different spectrums of living. You know, when we talk about the span of generation that is represented here, as a listener, you know where you are and where you're coming from. And I love the point that Mom just brought out that is the cycles that we go through. And one of the things that I've always, as a young girl in college and with the nonprofit and the different work that we've done, for some reason, the idea of seasons has
Mhm.
always resonated with me. You'll see from the slogan, make this your season for anointed living. And it's just kind of that idea, that concept. What season are you in?
Mm,
you know,
that's a good question.
Recognizing, Rachel said, being aware, being sensitive, all
Mhm.
of these important words that we need to take time to marinate and to think on. And we don't take enough time to really ponder, for being a Christian and taking time to meditate on the word or taking time to just be alone. And for those who they zen and they do their different ways of wanting to be able to remove all the noise and to be at calm so they can hear their thoughts and
Mhm.
and and
Yeah.
and clearly
Good. Serious thought.
see
Yes.
clearly see recognize where they are in this season of life.
Mhm.
And the moment that you are able to do that and pinpoint, you know, what it is that defines you in this moment, or you want to define you in this moment, then you're able to figure out what steps you need to take in order to walk in that purpose in order to embrace the pain that you're going through in order to eventually walk in that purpose.
Mhm.
So these are all concepts. One of the things I love that was brought out, we are all artists and we are all artists in different genres and in different generations. What was just brought forth is that everyone has someone that they can reach.
Mhm. Yep.
Whoever mom can reach, I may not be able to reach because I can't identify with them. Because we speak different languages when it comes to our artistic abilities, right? And the same thing with Rachel. You too can recognize will not be able to influence the people that you'll be able to influence and be able to share your story and be able to encourage and to be able to minister to. And so each of us has that amazing opportunity before us to embrace that pain, to embrace our story, and to share our story. Rachel? Thank you, sis. So I want to give my sister, I know we just both spoke. I want to give you both last words to say to encourage our listeners and viewers as well here on the YouTube channel.
Okay, well, I would have to say, you know, to see a rainbow, rain has to, be there before. So
Mhm.
after the rain, then comes the rainbow. So just know
Beautiful.
that it will get better. You will find your purpose. Just make sure to be aware of what's going on in your life and just be sensitive to different things. And you'll be able to just pick that up once you do that and not focus too much on what is my purpose, what am I doing, and just live your life and let it come
Mhm.
to you, let it flow.
I love that. Live in the moment. That's the total vibe of this generation, right? Gotta live in it.
Well, what can I say? My word really is be in love with what makes you happy. Be in love with what really sparks your interest. And if you're interested in something and it makes you excited about it, then chances are, not even chances, that is really your passion. If you're excited about something, I mean, right now on my job, I mean, after teaching for like almost 30 years, I am finally finding one of my real strong um, passion in my career as a teacher, and that is to really build and work with curriculum. And right now, I've been asked to be the literacy coach for the entire school that I'm working at. Why? Because little by little, they have seen within me that passion for wanting to help struggling readers, for wanting to help students who are struggling and really break it down, give them the visual, give them the audio so that they can understand, they can read something and break it down for them so that they can comprehend it properly. And it's like it just fell on my laps, but then every time I'm getting ready to plan or to hold a little meeting with my other co-workers, I'm just excited about it. It's like the thoughts just start
Awesome.
flowing.
Yeah.
So anytime you find that you're excited about something that faces you at, at the beginning, you might feel a little fearful or challenged, but then as soon as you start relaxing and saying, okay, it's coming to me. I can flow with this. And especially if you talk to the Lord, if you pray, if you're a praying person,
Right.
then you'll find that once you talk to him and say, okay, God, I love this. I'm excited about it. Give me some visual about it. He's gonna drop in your spirit that radar,
Yes. Yes.
and you're just gonna find yourself flowing.
Awesome. Awesome. I absolutely love, both of you really just laying it all out in terms of how you view and how you are able to identify and really push others to think deeper on that question for themselves, being from being happy to finding something that brings you joy when you're doing it, to living in that moment. And also my mom, I have to put this plug here, not only is she an educator, but the Lord opened the doors recently for you to open up your own tutoring center,
Oh yes.
Pearls
Oh
and
yes.
Pillars. And so that project just really took off. With just one event, you pretty much were booked out
Oh yes.
for
Oh
the
yes.
semester. So when that season or the time comes around again, just going to another event soon, and you even hired on other tutors to come in
yes.
and be a part of your company.
Yes. Yes.
So we're going to definitely link that in the show notes for individuals to see as a passionate educator and a minister and psalmist, singer, just doing so much. When you're called to reach the masses and to be a blessing to help people, I mean, there's no telling the doors that will open once you've
Right.
prepared yourself, and you've allowed yourself to be open to be used as a
And I
vessel.
actually love that word preparation, because preparation is really the key to propel you into doors as they open.
Yeah.
Once you're prepared, then you're going to find those doors are going to be opened, opportunities will come,
Yes.
and you will just flow in with an
Amen.
ease
Amen.
and with a confidence because you're
Yes.
prepared. So, guys, prepare. Even when you don't see any reason to prepare, just prepare because
No,
That's a good thing. I was
love
actually
that.
thinking about that the other day. When I was at a particular job, I didn't really, it wasn't working towards what I wanted to do, but I told myself, how can I prepare myself right now at this job to take on another job that I would want to do? How can I be a leader right now among, my
Wow.
coworkers and things
Yes.
like that? So when the time comes when I want to have a leadership position somewhere, I'm preparing myself, in the
Yes.
previous
Yes.
job. So
Yes.
just seeing it like that too, just preparing yourself in whatever situation that you're in now, So
Oh, what a teaching moment. The young one shall speak wisdom as well. I'm telling you, because what you just brought forth is the idea. And I know we can talk for hours, but we're going to get ready to close this down. I know. But the idea that you brought forth, some people, like you said earlier, wallow in the state that they're in. Oh, things are not working out in my favor. What is going on? What did I do to deserve this? But recognizing that there's a lesson that you need to take, but not only a lesson, you can still learn and step up to the plate as a leader, a servant leader, leading when you don't even have the mic, leading when you don't have the platform to do so, leading when you don't even have what they would say authority to lead, but you can lead from the back of the pack right there, just there in a state. I mean, and it's incredible because that is a lesson that will take people years and years of trial and error to learn. But if you can learn that, in your youth, do you know how much farther you will go and how much more prepared and ready you will be when the doors are flung open wide and the platform and the audience that has been prepared because you have taken the time to be ready for that moment. That moment may not have to necessarily even be on a stage, but remember the wilderness. After you said the rain, after the wilderness period of going through what you needed to go through in order to be qualified, not by man, but by God.
Writing about it's a training room.
I'm telling you. So we're gonna pick this up another episode where we'll be able to kind of delve deeper in some of these thoughts that we left on. I know we've left you on the edge of your seats and you're ready to just go deeper and to see more of what God has for you, more of what it means to be a radiant pearl, to be an exquisite gem that is going through the process and the refinement to become who you are called to be. Thank you so much for joining us. And I will leave these last few words, which you'll hear pretty much in one of the songs that will be the outro. I believe I will make it. I want you to say this. It's going to be a declaration. I am fearless. I believe I will make it. All the pain that I went through will be worth it. God has a plan. He will come through. He believes in me and you. What he says of me, that is what I will be.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Why does it say one? It says one